Hey everyone, Tech OG here, representing those who are 40 and up who love their tech. And in this video, I just want to talk about me going back to Apple. I mentioned before that, getting the S9 was really cool, but it just didn't have the pizzazz as an Apple phone. And going through the settings menu, it was really daunting to get the phone the way that I wanted it. And so after thinking about it and going through the phone and things like that, I decided to go back to Apple. No, I am nowhere close to being an Apple fanboy, but I just like the Apple phone. I mean, not just the phone in general. I generally, when I get Apple phones, I jailbreak them so that I can tweak them to look and feel the way that I want them to, or want it to. So it's not just about having the Apple phone, it's just about having a jailbroken one so that I can tweak it, put stuff on there to make it, my own. So I have two right here. I actually bought this one last summer. This one is a jailbroken iPhone 6. But this one's a really special one. What's cool about this one is an untethered jailbroken iPhone. So this iPhone here, let me get it to settings, general, about, this one runs on 9.0.2. So this is one of the last firmwares that you can have to have an untethered jailbreak. What is untethered, you ask? Oh, it's when your jailbreak when you turn off your phone completely. So let's say you turn it off completely and then turn it back on, your jailbreak will still be intact. So with jailbreaks on firmwares 10 or iOS 10 and up, if you use Yalu, how you want to pronounce it, if you use Electra for iOS 11, then you should know that you're a semi-tethered iPhone, jailbroken iPhone, where if you turn it completely off, your jailbreak turns off, and then you have to reinstall the jailbreak and then re-jailbreak the phone again. With untethered, you ain't got to worry about that. You can just turn it off, turn it on whenever you feel like it, and your jailbreak will still be there, so it's all good and dandy. And it has some tweaks on here that you can't necessarily get on Yalu or Electra. I mean, isn't this the coolest tweak right here? This is gift paper, one of the best tweaks that I put on my iPhone. For this one, for iOS 9, things like that. So I was using this for a bit, but was telling myself I kind of like in my personal opinion, the iPhone 5 was the best iPhone Apple has ever made. And so I didn't want to go, too far back as far as looking for a jailbroken iPhone, that had, cool features and a good processor. The iPhone 5 is pretty old, so that would probably run, it basically would run the same firmware that's for this phone here. This again is the iPhone 6. And so I was looking for on eBay for an iPhone SE. SE, I guess, stands for Special Edition. The iPhone SE basically is the form factor of the iPhone 5 or 5S, but it has the guts of an iPhone 6S in it. So it has the 6S processor, same speed, things like that, but just in a smaller form factor. Not a lot of people like the SE, and so it didn't sell that well. Me particularly, I love it, because I like the size. Because I don't have big hands, so I like the small size, of this phone. I like the boxiness, what I'm saying? I'll explain all this other stuff in a minute. But, so I found this one, maybe, let me see when I found this. Actually, I found it last month. I bought it on July 18th, 2018. And this was already jailbroken. So it says here, iOS 11 jailbroken Apple iPhone SE 64GB Verizon GSM. So it was unlocked. It was already unlocked. So when I saw this, it was actually listed for $199, I believe. I talked them down to $185. Got it delivered in 2 days. It was all good. So finding this for $185, iOS 11, iPhone SE 64GB, that was unheard of. And I tried to look for iPhones again to see if there's any iPhone SEs out there that's running on iOS 11 jailbroken. And I found 2 iPhone SEs on here, but they're not on iOS 11. Here's one that's on 10.2. Here's another one. It doesn't say the firmware, but if you click on it, go to the pictures, it'll show you that it's running on 10.3.3. So there are no more, at the moment, iPhone SEs on eBay jailbroken that are on iOS 11. So I really lucked out on this one. And this one is running at, show you real quick. Yeah, that's me. iOS version 11.1.1. I'm gonna play that in a lotto. So, like I said, I got really lucky at getting this one, and there's a number of reasons why I wanted to have an iPhone running the latest firmware. So I'll get to that later in videos, but the main thing that I want to talk about as far as me going back to Apple and getting on the jailbreak scene is the tweaks that I particularly use for this phone. Now there are dozens, and I mean dozens of videos of tweaks for iOS 11. And I've looked at a number of them and gotten particular tweaks that I liked from those videos, and decided to show you the ones that I particularly like for my phone. Like I said, this is just me. There's dozens, there's tons of different tweaks that you can put on your phone. I'm just showing you little by little the ones that I have installed on my phone. So this video is going to talk about and I'm going to talk about probably 5 at a time. No, not actually 5 at a time. That'll take too long. I don't want to make too many videos. So I'm just basically going to talk about A through C. So I'm just going to go alphabetically, but I'm going to start with A through C. So these are tweaks that I have found, like I said, on YouTube, through going on Google and seeing which tweaks are compatible with iOS 11. I mean, it's taken me a while to find certain ones that work with iOS 11, that work with this screen size. So without further ado, here is my quick list of tweaks A through C. The first tweak I want to talk about is this one entitled Anemone. Anemone. Now, this basically is a watered down winter board. So if you are familiar with jailbroken iPhones running on iOS 9 or iOS 8, that far back, even iOS 7, there was this tweak called Winterboard that would allow you to change the icons on your phone. So with Anemone, that basically what that does, it changes your icons, and so you can download Winterboard themes on your device. Now with Winterboard, it not just only change icons, it change some things on the infrastructure or on the springboard. So with Anemone, it only changes the icons. And so the ones with the this symbol right here, it kind of basically means that it's not totally compatible, but this one is. And so I have 2 actually enabled. It may say disabled. I mean, that basically means that if you press it, it will disable the icons. So they're already enabled. So if you want to enable it, if it's green, you press it and then it will enable those icons that's for that theme. So these two are selected. Now the reason why I have two of them selected is because when I install one of these, I believe I installed 2D Remix iOS 10 first. When I install that one, and it's the smaller round icons, the ones that were not supported, or the icons that were not supported, they were still in the box form. So I didn't want to have a mix of circle and box icons. So what I've done, was installed another theme, and this one is 360 iOS 9, and these are slightly bigger round icons. So what happens with this is, for the ones that were not supported with the first theme that I had, which was a 2D remix, they're supported with the other one. So I have small and slightly larger round icons, but at least they're all round. So that's what's cool about Anemone. You can, find different icon themes and make it the way that you want it. The next tweak that I suggest you install is called Aporio. And with this one, it just basically says in the description, a fast charging solution for iOS. What it means is when you charge your phone, it'll put your phone into low power mode. In low power mode, the battery icon turns yellow. So when it's in low power mode and you charge it, it actually charges faster. So that's what's cool about Aporio. It charges your phone faster because it puts your phone in low power mode. The next tweak, not very important, but kind of cool to have, auto rotate. Now what's cool about this is that let's say you're in your car and you're using maps and you're navigating, but you want to look at it, in landscape mode. Auto rotate will allow your phone to rotate, in the direction that it's in. So if it's landscape, everything will rotate to landscape. Right now I got it disabled. I'll tell you why I have it disabled later. But it's pretty cool that it automatically rotates, through the gyroscope the way that you are holding your phone. So portrait, landscape, it auto rotates for you. Now I'm into my B's, and the first one I'm going to talk about in the B section is a blacker keyboard. This is similar to Blurred. If you've jailbroken your iPhone and use Blurred on iOS 9, it basically darkens your keyboard. So let's say you're going to type a message. There's a keyboard. So that's how your keyboard looks with blacker keyboard. So it just turns it black if you like the black, have a black theme, or just like a keyboard black. So that's what blacker keyboard does. The next letter B tweak that I am using right now that I would suggest for you to use or have is called Breakthrough. And this one breaks jailbreak detection. So if there are apps that you have that will not work because your phone is jailbroken, you can use this and it will break the jailbreak detection on that app so that you're able to use it on your jailbroken phone. So I know one in particular, ADT. So if you have ADT in your house and you want to use the ADT app, if you try to use it on a jailbroken phone, it'll tell you that you can't use it. It'll detect that on your phone is jailbroken. So if you use this, you can use ADT. The last tweak I'm going to talk about in this video is called Cylinder. This is not an essential tweak that I use, but I like to use it because it's kind of fun to use. What it does, it animates your icons when you go from page to page. So let's say you have a folder with a lot of icons. When you go from one page to another, look at that. Isn't that kind of cool? Kind of animated. So this is just basically like a flip page. So that's pretty cool. Here in settings, these are your different animations that you can select that you would like to see when you use Cylinder. And so I selected a few of them so that you can see the different animations. So here's my game folders again. Look at the different animations. Is that cool? Oh wow, that was cool. It's pretty awesome. So it gives your phone a little bit of pizzazz, just a little bit of pizzazz. Like I said, with a jailbroken phone, you make it the way that you want it to be. So that's why I use Cylinder, just to show how fun the iPhone actually is. So there you have it. Those are my tweaks that I use, A through C. Now I will probably add more. And if I add more tweaks that I like, I'll just make it, a video that, discusses new tweaks that I've discovered, for my phone. I don't like putting a whole lot of tweaks on here because, I don't want anything to happen to my phone. I've had instances where my phone completely shut down and lost my jailbreak, things like that. So I just used a few at a time. So that was A through C. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. Leave comments in the comment section. I will leave a list of the tweaks that I just talked about, and I guess for maybe some of them, I might have to tell you the source that you have to put in Cydia so that you can get that particular tweak. So again, I'll just list them, and if there's a special source that you need to get that particular tweak, then I'll list the source that I'm using to get that tweak. So, hope you like the video. Like I said, please subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video.